Hello, my dear students. A very good morning to you all. Today, we are going to discuss and understand a very famous poem written by the Nightingale of India, Sarojini Naidu. And this poem depicts the wonderful and beautiful Bazaar of Hyderabad. Let us understand the poem. And before understanding the poem, let us know something about the poet. Here in front of you is the picture of Sarojini Naidu. She is known as the she is known as the Nightingale of India or Bharatiya Kokila. Okay, as you can see in this picture, she is with Mahatma Gandhi ji, right? So you can clearly from this picture it is very clear that she took an active part in the Indian independence movement, right? She was a distinguished poet, renowned freedom fighter, and one of the greatest orators of her time, greatest speakers of her time. Okay, she was famously known as Bharatiya Kokila or the Nightingale of India. She was the first Indian woman to become the president of the Indian National Congress and the first woman to become the governor of a state in India. Okay, so she was politically enlightened, she was politically active, she was the first women president of the Indian National Congress. She was also the governor of a state, first female governor of a state in India. All right, and now if to understand the background of this poem was written during the peak time of the Swadeshi movement. Okay, so in this poem we will see that the poet, the narrator, all right, is asking questions to the vendors in that particular market in the Bazaar of Hyderabad, and the vendors are giving the answers to those questions. All right, and as we go on reading the poem, we come to know what are the things sold in the market. All right, and those things are so rich that it depicts the richness of our country, the variety of our country, the richness of our country. Okay, now as I've already mentioned, this poem was written during the Swadeshi movement, and the Swadeshi movement focused. Now, do you know what is Swadeshi movement? Swadeshi. Swa means my own, our own, own. Desi means of our, belonging to our country, right? So Swadeshi movement focused in boycotting all the British goods. All right, whatever was produced, manufactured, and sold by the Britishers were boycotted by the Indians. All right, and the Indians paid more attention and importance in using Indian goods. All right, and this poem was written in order to make the people aware of the richness of the variety of India. Now let us understand the poem. Let us read the poem first. What do you in the bazaars of Hyderabad? What do you sell, O ye merchants? Richly your wares are displayed, turbans of crimson and silver, tunics of purple brocade, mirrors with panels of amber, daggers with handles of jade. What do you weigh, O ye vendors? Saffron and lentil and rice. What do you grind, O ye maidens? Sandalwood, henna and spice. What do you call, O ye peddlers? Chessmen and ivory dice. What do you make, O ye goldsmiths? Wristlet and anklet and ring, bells for the feet of blue pigeons, frail as dragonflies' wings, girdles of gold for the dancers, scabbards of gold for the king. What do you cry, O ye fruitmen? Citron, pomegranate, and plum. What do you play, O musicians? Sitar, sarangi, and drum. What do you chant, O musicians? Spells for the aeons to come. What do you weave, O ye flowers, with tassels and azure and red? Crowns for the brow of a bridegroom, chaplets to garland his bed, sheets of white blossoms new gathered to perfume the sleep of the dead. Sarojini Naidu. Now, the entire poem is in a question and answer format. Okay, the poet is asking questions to the vendors, to the sellers in the market, and the sellers and the vendors are replying. Now, what questions are asked by the what are the questions asked by the poet? The poet is asking about the things sold in the market. All right. Now to remind you again, this poem was written during the Swadeshi movement time, during the time when Swadeshi movement was at its peak, and Swadeshi movement focused on using Indian products. All right, and this poem was written to glorify Indian products, to glorify the diversity in India, to glorify the richness in India, and to glorify the Indian society. The first para of the poem: what do you sell, O ye merchants? Richly your wares are displayed, turbans of crimson and silver, tunics of purple brocade, mirrors with panels of amber, daggers with handles of jade. The poet asks, what are you selling, O ye merchants? O ye means you, okay? What do you sell, O you merchants, O ye merchants? The poet is asking to the merchants about what are they selling, okay? What are the products that they are selling? The merchants reply that they are selling turbans of crimson and silver. Turbans means headgears, all right? The headgears that men wear to cover, Indian men wear to cover their head, right? The poet says, what do you sell, O ye merchants? Richly your wares are displayed. The poet asks, what are you selling, merchants? Your wares, your products are displayed so richly, they are so attractive. Okay, as soon as I see your things, I feel like asking, I feel like buying. The merchant replies, turbans of crimson and silver. Okay, the merchant replies that he is selling headgears, head covers worn by Indian men of crimson and silver color. He is also selling tunics of purple brocade. Tunic means a kind of long dress, okay, long loose piece of garment worn on the top part of the body, like a kurta, okay, like we normally, if you say in day to day, our daily wear, it will be a tunic is a kind of kurta, okay, a long garment worn on the top part of the body. Okay, the merchants say that they are selling turbans of crimson and silver. They are also selling tunics, long kurtas of purple brocade. Now, what is a brocade? Brocade is a fabric woven with an elaborate design using golden and silver threads. So brocade is a fabric, it is a kind of cloth. Okay, so what kind of cloth is this? It is brocade cloth is woven by using golden and silver threads. So very rich, very costly piece of material, costly piece of fabric, right? So the tunics that the merchants in this bazaar of Hyderabad sell is very costly. Okay, the tunics are made of brocade, and brocade are clothes made using golden and silver threads. Then what are the other things sold by the merchant? Mirrors with panels of amber. All right, they are selling mirrors with panels of amber. Panels means frame. Okay, the frame of the mirror is of amber. Now what is amber? Amber is a yellowish brown. Amber is yellowish brown color, right? So the mirrors have yellowish brown color frames. Daggers with handles of jade. What do you mean by daggers? Short pointed knives. Okay, the merchants are also selling short pointed knives with handles of jade, and the handle of this knife is made up of jade. Now what is a jade? A jade is a valuable green stone. So all the items sold by these merchants are rich, they're very costly, right? They're very colorful. This shows how rich the Indian handicraft was. All right, how rich the Indian people were. Okay, they could buy clothes made of brocade. Okay, people of that particular town could buy mirrors with amber frames. They could buy daggers with handles of jade, and these the rich things displayed in the market depicts the richness of Indian society, the vividness of Indian market. All right, so isn't it very attractive? Okay, now let's proceed to the second. In the second paragraph, the poet is asking the vendors, okay, about what they are weighing. What do you weigh, oh ye vendors? What are you weighing? The vendors replied, saffron and lentil and rice. Okay, so the vendors are weighing saffron. Saffron is a orange colored aromatic spice and the costliest spice in the world. Okay, saffron is the costliest spice in the world. The vendors replied that they are weighing saffron, lentil means pulses, dal, okay, and rice. Now, why are they weighing saffron and lentil and rice? Of course, to sell it to the buyers. Okay, so India was not only rich in handicrafts, not only rich in gold and silver and precious stone, but India was also agriculturally very rich. Saffron, the costliest spice, is grown in India. Okay, and the market, you just see the have a imagine the market. Each and everything is found in the market. In the first paragraph, we saw clothes made of brocade and mirrors and daggers of jade, etc. Right? And in the second paragraph, the vendors are selling saffron, lentil, and rice. What do you grind, O ye maidens? All right, the poet is asking to the maidens now, what do you grind? The maidens replied, sandalwood, henna, and spice. What are the maidens grinding? Sandalwood, henna, and spice. Now, sandalwood, henna, and spices are used as beauty products in India, right? From from ancient times, sandalwood, henna, spices are used as beauty products by Indian women, right? These products, sandalwood, henna, and spices, depicts the festivity and joyous mood of India, right? Because sandalwood, that is chandan, right, and henna and spice, they are used by Indian girls in celebrations like marriages, right? So these sandalwood, henna, these things sold by the maidens depict the joyous and festive mood of India. What do you call, O ye peddlers? Now, who are these peddlers? Peddlers are a person who moves from place to place selling goods, right? Now the poet is asking the peddlers, what are you selling? The peddlers replied, chessmen and ivory dice. Okay, so the peddlers are selling chessmen and ivory dice. So this depicts that the rich kings, Nawabs, they had a lot of luxurious time, right? It also depicts the luxurious lifestyle of these people who could afford to play with chessmen made of ivory, dice made of ivory, right? Now, ivory is very costly. All right, so this shows how rich was the Indian society, how rich was the city of Hyderabad. In the third paragraph, the poet is asking the goldsmiths. Now, who is a goldsmith? A person who deals in making gold jewelries, right? So this market is really a very rich market, from clothes to spices to chessmen, ivory dice, sandalwood, henna, and now gold jewelry. Everything is sold in this market. Everything can be bought in this market. This is a rich market depicting the rich India. What do you make, O ye goldsmith? Wristlet and anklet and ring. The goldsmith makes wristlet, anklet, and rings. He also makes bells for the feet of the blue pigeons. Okay, bells for the feet of what? Of a blue pigeon. Okay, frail as a dragonfly's wing. Now, what is the meaning of frail? Weak. Now, a bell for the blue pigeon's feet, obviously it has to be very light, very, very light, and then only the pigeon can carry the bell, right? So, the bell for the feet of the blue pigeon is as weak as a dragonfly's wings. Girdles of gold for dancers. Girdles means the belt that dancers wear. Okay, so here the goldsmith is making girdles of gold. Okay, belt of gold for the dancers and scabbards of gold for the king. Scabbard means cover for a sword. Okay, so the cover of a sword is made of gold for the kings. Just imagine the richness of India, the variety of India. India was so rich. Why should people go and buy foreign products. This is the idea behind this poem. Okay. Asks the next question to the fruitmen. Fruits are also sold in this market. My God, this market is really very rich, from clothes to gold to precious stones, from saffron, lentil, rice to sandalwood, henna, spice, and now fruits. Okay, what do you cry, O ye fruitmen? Citron, pomegranate, and plum. So which are the fruits sold in this market? Citron is a sour fruit, pomegranate and plum. What do you play, O musicians? There are musicians in this bazaar too. The musicians reply, sitar, sarangi, and drum. What do you chant, O magicians? There are magicians in this market too. Spells for the aeons to come. Right? The spells for the aeons. Aeons means a very long period of time. We are chanting magical, we are chanting magical chants, magical mantras. Spells means mantras, chants, for we are predicting what is going to happen in the long period of time. Right? Now let us understand the last paragraph, last stanza of the poem. Right? What do you weave, O ye flower girls? Now coming to flower girls, there are flower girls in this market too. The flower girls are weaving with tassels of azure and red. Tassels means, what do you mean by tassel? Tassels are decorated bunch of thread which are knotted at one end. Okay, a bunch of thread which are knotted at one end. Azure means bright blue color. Okay, so the flower girls are weaving with tassels of azure and red. All right, they are making garland out of the flowers with blue and red colored tassels. The flower girl replies, they are weaving crown for the brows of a bridegroom. In Indian weddings, you have seen that, particularly in the Central Indian or North Indian wedding, you have seen that the bridegroom, okay, bridegroom means the boy, right? The bridegroom wears a crown made of flower, all right, which covers his face, right? The flower girl says that they are making crowns for the brow of the bridegroom, and they are also making chaplets to garland his bed. Now what do you mean by chaplet? Wreath made of flowers and leaves and worn around the head. All right, they are also making chaplets to garland his bed. And they're making garland of flowers to decorate his bed. They are also weaving out sheets of white flowers. Blossom means flowers. Okay, they are weaving out sheets of white blossoms to perfume the sleep of the dead. That means they are weaving out crowns for the bridegroom. They are weaving out garland for the bed. They are also weaving out, white sheets made of white flowers to garland the dead. We use flowers for all the occasions in India, right? Even for happy occasions, for prayers, for gifting somebody, we use flowers. Flowers are also used to cover the dead body of people, right? So here the flower girl says that they are making crown for the bridegroom. They are also making garlands to decorate his bed. At the same time, they are also making sheets of white flowers to garland, white flowers for the dead. Okay. Did you understand the poem? Now this poem is very easy. Okay, the poem is very easy to understand, but you need to understand the essence of the poem. All right, the poem luxuriously depicts the variety of things, the rich wares sold in the market of Hyderabad, right? And this rich wares, this gold and silver and fruits and whatnot, flowers, sandalwood, spice, etc., sold in this bazaar shows the rich and vivid shows the rich and vivid things that are found in India. Okay, as again to remind you all, this poem was written in the backdrop of the Swadeshi movement, where the poet wanted the Indians to be attracted to buy Indian products and boycott the foreign products. So this poem has beautifully depicted India, has beautifully depicted Indian society, and has beautifully depicted what beautifully depicted that India has everything. Okay, everything that we want, from gold, silver, to clothes, to flowers, to fruits, to henna, sandalwood, rice, lentil, each and everything is there. Each and everything is found in India. Okay, so why not we buy Indian products rather than buying the manufactured British products? Thank you and have a nice day. I hope you have understood the poem. If not, please do message me in the WhatsApp group or leave a comment in the comment box. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.